Okay, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'll just continue to admit people as they come in. First of all, good evening. Thank you for being here. My name is Elsa Dimitriadis. I'm the Executive Director of Arch. I know your time is valuable, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you about an initiative that directly connects to your role as a property owner or manager. And I promise you that we will be done by 6:30. I see that we have a small group this evening. We're going to continue to do these orientations. We're also recording tonight's orientation, and it will be on the Arch YouTube page where we collect and post all of our meetings. And note that if you share this with someone, this conversation will be geared towards specifically property owners and managers. So just a little background. ARCH, which is the Acadiana Regional Coalition on Homelessness and Housing, has been serving this region since the late 80s and has evolved based on what our community needs most. Our core responsibility is to lead a federally designated, what they call continuum of care, which it crosses 8 parishes in Acadiana, and you can see that on your map. And that's a coordinated system of care for those who are experiencing or at risk of homelessness. So over the last few years, especially since the pandemic, we've expanded our work into direct services, including creating and managing the Share House Donation Center. That's where people in the community can donate gently used furniture, beds, and other household items, which then get redistributed free of charge to those who are either moving from homelessness to housing, or they need those items due to a flood or a house fire. We've also launched rehousing initiatives, and we've offered intensive case management. But at our heart, we are connectors. That's what we do to serve our mission, and it's something that we've positioned ourselves well to do over decades. And the HoldFast program is a new way to strengthen those connections between tenants, property owners, and local support systems. So one might ask, why HoldFast? So since COVID-19, our region, as you all know, I'm sure well, has faced an unprecedented increase in housing instability. Calls to Arch have surged, not just from people in crisis, but from property owners and managers like you. And you've told us you have tenants that weren't ready to be renters. You have tenants who are behind on rent. You want to help, but you don't have the right resources, or you have vacant units, but no way to connect with tenants who are ready. Or you've dealt with tenants who need support to remain stable, and you've had to take that on yourself. And at the same time, many community services aren't set up to support renters specifically. Our focus in the continuum of care, honestly, often goes to the already unhoused. And the result is a system where tenants fall through the cracks and landlords are left without tools. It reminds me very much of the story where the townspeople are walking by a river and they notice a person drowning and they quickly jump in and they rescue the person. But more and more people are coming down the river, and it creates a never-ending cycle of rescuing. But one of the rescuers gets tired of this endless downstream effort, and so they decide to go upstream to find out why are the people falling into the river in the first place. And so HoldFast was designed to fix the upstream dilemma. It's a program that directly supports tenants at risk of losing housing and partners with property owners to make sure that people not only get housed, but stay housed. And one thing about the name, just because I've gotten some questions about it, HoldFast is an old nautical phrase that originated in the days of wooden sailing ships. In a storm, sailors would tell each other to hold fast, which meant to grab onto the rigging or something solid and secure, something that had weathered previous storms to prevent being swept overboard. And that is exactly the theme of this program. So, over the past several months, we've done the work to build HoldFast from the ground up. We've completed a planning and a pilot phase. We've staffed trained navigators. We've created a database to input and map affordable and deeply affordable housing stock, and we've started taking referrals. We're now launching publicly, and you're a core part of that launch. So yesterday we met with local nonprofits. Today we make sure that you know that your partnership will shape how this program works. It'll shape who it reaches. It'll shape how successful it becomes. And we're here to build something sustainable, something that lasts a long time, something that's effective, something that's mutually beneficial for tenants and for you. And so what the program includes is a flexible, tailored service package that provides services to households experiencing instability. And those services include housing navigation through a growing rental database, renter readiness classes so that tenants understand their rights and their responsibilities. And in fact, we have some upcoming partnerships that make those classes mandatory for tenants that move through specific programs. Case management for tenants to maintain housing, access employment or benefits, and resolve conflict. Facilitation and mediation between tenants and landlords when issues arise. We see that sometimes that the situation has become untenable and the property owners and managers and the tenants have difficulty figuring out where they can land, where there can be an agreement, so that they don't have to move toward eviction. And if we have those strengthened relationships with both you all and the tenants, perhaps we can sit down and help you all come to a better understanding of what the problems are. Coordination with legal aid and rental assistance and eviction prevention resources. And then lastly, direct access to share house, providing household goods to get tenants settled. But this program is also a resource for you. You can call us when a tenant is struggling, and we'll step in with trained staff to help stabilize the situation. And if you have available units, we want to connect you with tenants who are working with case managers. They have documented income and are actively being supported to succeed. This is about protecting your investments and reducing your turnover, while we're also making a difference in the community. We're going to evaluate the program at the 6, 12, and 18-month marks. We're going to be measuring housing retention. We're going to be looking at satisfaction. We're going to be looking at reduction in recidivism. And so your feedback will be part of that process. So just to put a fine point on it, what's in it for you? We know this is a business, and here's what HoldFast offers you. First of all, tenant support. You're not alone if problems arise. Our team is here to help navigate issues before they lead to eviction. Secondly, reduced turnover. So stable tenants stay longer, and it costs less than releasing a unit over and over and over again. Third, vacancy matching. So list your units in our database and be matched with pre-screened tenants who are supported by professionals. Community recognition. So participating property owners and managers will be publicly recognized as housing champions, which is an opportunity to highlight your community commitment. And then lastly, efficiency. We help with the paperwork. We help with communication. We help with coordination, saving you time and hassle. And you no longer have to have individualized relationships with case managers from all the different area organizations. We're going to be centralizing those efforts. You're not being asked to take on more. You're being invited to partner with a team that's equipped to support both sides of the rental relationship, the tenant and the property owners and managers. So if you're asking, how do I connect? We want to make it easy. So first, list your properties with us, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. We're going to work with you to add them to our database. So you'll list your properties with us, and then we will be able to utilize that database with prospective tenants. Secondly, reach out if your tenant is struggling. We can step in and help stabilize the situation. Reach out if somebody has left items that are in good condition in your unit. We're a great place to donate to, and you will know that those items are being put in the hands of someone who really needs them, aside from saving them from being ruined in the rain when they get put at the curb or going into a landfill. Offer feedback. Let us know what your needs are. We're listening. We're ready to adjust. This is a unique program. We heard what you all were saying. We heard what our service providers were saying. And we got a pilot investment from Lafayette Consolidated Government and with strong partnerships, this program can be refined and tailored to our community by incorporating your feedback. And then also spread the word, share the link to register available properties. Let your peers in the real estate world know about this program. It's only going to be as strong as the trust and partnerships between all stakeholders are. And I know in my line of work, there's nothing like a peer-to-peer recommendation. So hearing it from someone like you, that this is a program that's been stood up, that you're excited about it, and that you want your friends and peers in the real estate market to get involved. So we've created a bit.ly so that you don't have to remember too much as far as a website address. So it's bit.ly/Arch Rentals. All capitals, ARCH, because we're an acronym, and then small rentals. You will complete a form. I will say that I've probably completed this form a dozen times over the process of us standing this program up. And each time it has taken me no more than perhaps 2 minutes to complete this form. We really tried to make it as streamlined as possible. So it asks questions like, basic contact information about you and the property. Is it available or not currently available? How many bedrooms there are, bathrooms, the amount of rent, what the length of lease is, whether you accept Section 8, and they're all drop-down questions. So you should be able to move through this very rapidly. Whether you do a background check or a credit check, whether the unit is ADA compliant, what your pet policy is, and then if you have any tenant responsibilities like the tenant needs to provide a fridge or a stove or provide their own lawn care. And then you're going to press submit. And as soon as you press submit, you will receive in your email a unique URL for that property that is yours moving forward. And that way you can update it, whether the property goes online or offline, whether you change things like your pet policy or you change your rent, whatever the circumstances are, you're going to be able to go in and manage it yourself. You can, as soon as you submit one, it'll say, would you like to submit another? And so if you do have multiple properties, you can do that easily and efficiently. With each time, a property will receive a unique URL. So here's also our main line, 337-399-2559. That's the number if you Google Arch. That's the number that pops up. And someone will answer your call and connect you with the right person for your need. So if you want to speak with me and talk about a growing partnership, then you can, you'll tell the person who answers or hear the phone tree to speak with me. If you want to talk about share house, we'll be able to connect you with the right person. If you're having an issue with a tenant and you want to make a referral for them to get some support, we'll connect you with the right person. And going back to the form, in the event that you forget the bit.ly, the bit.ly/Arch Rentals, there is a button on our landing page on our website, archacadiana.org, and there's a button, it'll take you right back to the form. And so try to remember, try to jot it down, try to share it with others, but if for some reason you can't locate it, it's always there on our landing page. We have several staff members that will be working with the HoldFast program. Many of you know them well, but I want to call particular attention today to Rachel Hayden. She's our Director of Housing Stabilization Services, and Leo Mesa Juarez, our Housing Specialist, and they will be working exclusively with this program's clients. Although the majority of our staff will be working to some degree on this program. They are the two that right now are focused specifically on these program clients. We're going to be inviting you to upcoming property partner sessions with them to continue building a strong network of support. So really, whether you manage 2 units or 200 units, you're part of the solution, and we're here to make sure that it works for you too. I did also want to mention that when you register your rental property and you let us know that you have a rental property, whether it's available or not available, on the back end, we are able to have both a database and a map. And so for the database piece, if a client calls us and tells us, what their price point is, that they do have a pet, and they need wide doorways because they have a family member in a wheelchair, we're going to be able to say, these are some available properties and you become a client of HoldFast. We're going to walk you through that process. Okay. In addition, though, what we're really excited about is it also generates a map of available properties so that when we have callers and clients who are looking for rental properties near their child's school, near their work, near friends, on a bus line, because some of our clients, as you know, don't have transportation yet, we're going to be able to also geographically map those available properties and offer them to them. So they're going to be pre-screened and thoughtful referrals. So we're getting close to time. I wanted to leave a few minutes just in case there were any questions, but I wanted to thank you for your time and attention. The HoldFast program is built on the idea that housing stability benefits everyone, families and neighborhoods, and property owners and managers alike. Many of you are small business owners. You own property while you're also doing something else in the community. And we want to support the economic development and the economic strength and the economic health of our community from tenant all the way through to property owner and manager. We know that your role in this ecosystem is critical, and we believe that when we support tenants and property owners together, we all move forward. So I just want to say thank you again for joining us. We're at 6:22. I'd like to open it up if anybody has any questions or ideas or concerns. We will be sending the slide deck out to everyone who was invited this evening, as well as an outline of my notes. And then, of course, the recording will be available. We will upload it tomorrow on the Arch YouTube page. And so if you want to share it, you say, hey, I saw that you weren't able to make it, but here's a link. She moved pretty quickly through it. Then you could do that, or you can share the slide deck or the notes. So does anyone have any questions? They can drop them in the chat or take yourself off of mute. Okay. Well, listen, we're here. We're here for you. On the screen right now, you can see my email address and Rachel, our Director of Housing Stabilization Services, email address. Contact us through email. You can respond to the email that you'll receive the slide deck and the notes. Ask your questions then. If you have any concerns, please let us know. Again, the success of this program is reliant on a strong partnership with you. And if there's anything that we can do to make it better or make sure that it works for you too, we're here to hear it. So thank you so much. I appreciate you and have a great rest of the evening.